Hey gamers, welcome to Vlogmatters 19. This vlog has been a few days in the making. What I'm going to do is play a video that you see on the screen here of me playing Super Wall Crash on an iPhone 6 Plus. This is one of the first builds we've put on a mobile device, and it actually runs pretty well. Let me point out some things before we even start here. So in the upper left, I don't know if this was in any of the other builds I showed off, you have a health bar now. Default health right now is 25 out of 25. On the right is a kind of hard to see 0. That 0 is your score. As you go further in the game, you get a higher score. As you hit things, it detracts from your score. Right now, everything just takes away 1 point. In the future, bigger things might take away more points. We still have to adjust that. You'll see if you hit like a whole bunch of stuff, it doesn't really like readjust correctly. And then the bottom left, as I start the video, you'll see me start tapping on these little square things with the white corners are now our buttons, our UI. This is for the character select screen, which isn't built. In fact, in this build, I don't think a bunch of stuff is built. There's actually been a lot of stuff that's been built since this that I have to show in another vlog in the next couple of days. You won't be able to see this, but I have a big list of UI layout. So if I can get that right up to the camera. So on the top, there's a to-do with all the to-do things I was going to do that I got checked off, most of them, except the UI, which has its layout right there. And then on the bottom has a whole bunch of other things to do that I am working on right now. So I'm going to play this video. The music that's probably playing right now was put in post. All that's in here is basically a sound effect for when you hit things, which is basically what we've had since the beginning. So let's play it. Again, I'll start by trying to hit that button, and it won't work because I don't have any of that built. This is one of the new biomes. I think this one is considered our hazard biome, and I'm trying to fumble with upping the volume so you can actually hear something. There's the hazard biome. This is the East Asia biome, which is basically just okay, so let me pause it right here. So as you saw, that was a pause menu. There's a little pause button in the bottom right corner now. You might not have been able to see it super great because of the cam box here, but there's a little pause in the bottom right corner. When you tap it, pauses the game. When you tap unpause, basically it has a resume countdown, goes 3, 2, 1, 0, and then starts. Also added after this build was the ability to change your settings on that menu. And I think that's all you can really do from the pause. We might add like a reset button somewhere in there in the future. I was thinking that might be a good idea. So we'll resume it. So the ultimate goal as we kind of get through doing this, and pardon my playing on this because I had the camera sitting right in front of me and I was trying to like go around it and play it. So camera shooting a phone, that's kind of why the quality is kind of low on this. But our goal eventually, okay, let me stop real quick. This is another new biome. This is kind of like our lava-y biome. There's some skulls, some burnt trees. Pause. Oh, I'll actually go back and show this. Again, burnt trees, some skulls and stuff. As you saw I was doing there, I was tapping with one finger and going like, so the basic controls are you tap on the left side of the screen, that'll make you go left. You tap on the right side of the screen, that'll make you go right. Now if you tap right and then tap left, what it'll do is you'll start going right, and then as soon as you tap left, you'll go left, and then as soon as you lift your finger from going left, you'll start going right again. So I kind of like that little control thingy. At first it was just like whichever one you pressed was the last one you were doing, but I kind of like the idea of someone being like, hey, it feels more natural to me that I'm going to tap one way and then lift off to go the other way. It's almost like a little Guitar Hero kind of thing where they had it so you could lift off of a finger and it would just play the next note. Just a little tweak to how you can play it. So I'll continue the video and try and continue my thought. So the point of what we're doing is we're trying to get a limited like alpha out to people so they can try it and play it and see what it's like. Again, there's not like a lot of stuff with characters, and the biomes are limited, and the score is a little wonky, but it's all in there. So our goal right now is to get all these little features and stuff put in. So some of the features we're working on right now are save and load game automatically. It's pretty much all the way done. It just has one bug with it right now. Settings menu, which is the framework is there, but the options aren't there. We need to add in things like adjusting sound effects and music volume, and I think I'm gonna die in a second here on this, and then I'll pause it right here. So let me play it quick to get my finger off of that screen. So on the left we have a share button. The share button doesn't do anything right now. Eventually you'll be able to share either to, I don't know, Facebook or Twitter or something, some social media. On the right there is the settings gear, which is almost like a snowflake thing, but it's a settings gear. That's fixed, so when you click on it, it opens the settings menu. I'll show that in a future vlog. In the center, you can't see because my finger's over it, but it's just a basic play button. It restarts the level, or regenerates everything. And then in the upper right, you can see it says best 54. In this build, it didn't save what your best was. It just said best 54 every single time you played it. We went from that to a version where we just stored it in a variable, so your play session had your best score, and it was wiped out when you were done playing. And then what we've got now is that it saves in the save game file, and ideally, other than having that bug right now, it'll load going forward, and then you'll still have your best game. So let's play it. I'll restart the level. So when you start, you have to tap it to start running before it just automatically started for you. This way you can click the character select or the options button before you start a run. Again, options button's always available in the pause menu while you're playing. And we're trying to get this to that point where we can give it to people and have them play around with it. Not necessarily on their phones, but just in general, like maybe a PC build or something. The PC controls are all built in, so they all work. It's actually a lot easier to play on the PC. And that brings up another good point. These walls, these big gray walls, it's hard to notice, especially in this video clip. But as soon as you hit those walls now, it increments your speed just a little bit every single time. So as you go further and further, it's faster and faster, so it's harder and harder as you're going forward, as the camera gets really out of focus. Coupled with the fact that as you're hitting these things and going faster, the biomes also randomly get longer. So they basically have like a set amount, and then every time they increase by a set amount plus a random amount. As I just get obliterated by these bad guys. We've only got bad guys turned on in one biome right now because we had them turned on in the snow biome and they were just incredibly difficult. And I'll blur that out so my friend doesn't. That's what it looks like when you get a text as you're playing. It's kind of annoying because it blocks the top of the screen. The screen still works if you turn it vertical. The only thing is that it kind of zooms the camera in a little closer on the default player guy right now. So you get a little less view left and right, obviously, and then your view up in front of you is a little like, it's a little closer to the guy, so it's a little angled further down, it feels like. But yeah, what do we have to add for the level generation in the future? Well, we have to add a collectible. So there's going to be some primary collectible that what you can use that collectible for is unlocking things, whether it's, I don't know, new biomes or new characters. That's all going to be kind of like decided once we get this base stuff going, which the base stuff is actually pretty well in there. It's running pretty well on a 6 Plus. I have a 4S that I have to try it on and see how the generation and everything runs. But we're pretty surprised and pretty happy by how it looks. I've seen this gameplay, not this gameplay specifically, but playing it on the phone so many times that it's actually like less impressive seeing it here and more impressive seeing it when you actually play it, because the playing of it is what feels right. It's not like watching it is real aggravating. I was watching some friends play it and just like wanted to grab the phone from them and just start playing it because it wasn't that they were doing bad at it. It was that it's one of those games where when you watch it, you just want to play it because it's more aggravating to see people like tapping left and right and like dodging stuff, and you're like, oh, just go this way, just go this way. But I think that's a good thing. I think it's good that you want to rip your friend's phone out of their hands and start playing it. And I hope that translates to everyone else that tries and plays it. So at some point, I'll mention one of these vlogs. I'll put something up on the website where you can go and contact me, and we'll put out that public, limited public alpha, and it'll just probably be a PC build, like I said, and just give us a little bit of feedback. The PC build's going to be a little weird because when you're playing it on a really big screen, some of the graphics look even more blocky and stuff than they do on this, but you'll get a feel for how it plays. Again, the controls being a keyboard versus a tap screen is there's me being aggravated. I'll restart this while I'm talking quick. The controls being on a keyboard are a little bit they're easier to play and a little different in feel in terms of like, okay, this isn't as fun just going like left and right and left and right as much as it is playing it and holding it and tapping left and right. But I think that's actually a benefit in our case because I'm not a big fan of mobile controls. In fact, I'm so not a fan of them to the point where, like, when we were first devising what game we wanted to make, I was thinking, man, I don't want to make a mobile game because I hate mobile controls, but they have to feel natural. So something like a Crossy Road or something like, I guess even like the Temple Runny kind of things, feel a little more natural than something like where someone tries to make like a first-person shooter on the phone or something, and they've got the big like circular thing on the screen and the D-pad on the left or something like that, or like the D-pad on the left and then the buttons like virtually on the screen. You have to like kind of build it so it works better with the hardware you've got, I think. And I think in our case we've extremely succeeded on that because we had some ideas for other moves and other more complex maneuvers that you would do based on the input, and we didn't cut them because of the input. In fact, I don't know if we fully cut them, but for now they're not being worked on because one, it's extra time we have to spend on something that we don't know if is really worth it, especially when it's like a special dodge or something like that. When you're playing this game, dodges are nice, but it gets to the point where it's so fast that you'd actually struggle more with trying to like do a quick swipe or something than it would be, and it'd just be really frustrating, I think. So making it really simple was really key, and that simplicity doesn't manifest itself as well with that keyboard and mouse, well, just keyboard control, I guess, because you're just doing A and D and you're like, oh, I've got all these other keys, they could be using anything. Well, when you're on this platform you really can't. So but yeah, that's kind of the thought process behind the mobile design. That's some video of it playing on a phone, and hopefully in the next couple of vlogs I'll show you some of those new small features we've been adding and talk more about that limited public alpha. So until next time, game on, guys.